you know, you think it's like ugly or wrong or bad. Back with another video. I was just picking up my camera to look at some old footage, and I was kind of admiring my locks and how they're coming along. Like every week they change because time passes and my hair starts acting differently. But I thought of something that's been on my mind lately that I wanted to make a video about because it comes up. Anybody who's been following me since the beginning, which I think is a lot of you. For those of you who are newer, I big chopped in 2014, and that was around the time when big chopping and going natural was kind of a trendy thing to do. Depending on how you feel about trends, you know, everyone has preferences, but it was a trending thing to do during that time. And I didn't really realize, but I'm starting to realize that locking your hair is apparently a trending thing to do right now. You know, as long as a good thing's trending, I don't really care why. Some people don't like trends. Whatever. I happen to hop on the bandwagon, I guess, each time. So I went natural in 2014 when a lot of the people were, and then now I am. So we're on the verge. I feel as though, at least with the natural hair community, like when people were going natural during that time, there was a burst in natural hair products, in natural hair acceptance, in natural hair expression, new styles, because YouTubers were coming out and sharing the things they're doing with their hair and inspiring other women to deal with their hair in ways that they had never thought that they could before. Being on the verge of the brink of that was like having to explain to people why I big chop. People would say things like, what? Like, why? Why would you color your hair off? Oh, you're so brave. Oh my God, aren't you scared it's gonna look bad? Like, do you think you have the face for that? Like, oh, and then it gets even worse. People start saying things like, oh, that's gonna be too African or too black. Or that's not gonna help you get jobs. How are you gonna style your hair? How are you gonna get it neat for work? Encountering all of that several years ago, and now encountering similar comments from people about me locking my hair. And I already have, you know what I mean? I already have natural hair, I already have what I would consider big, crazy, like fun, does what it wants hair. But now that I'm locking it, I'm still getting the same kind of feedback. Not even really backlash as much as like the response from the community is one of ignorance, because they say similar things like, wow, like you're gonna go on job interviews with that? Why not wait till after you have a job? Or is it gonna smell? Or how long are you gonna do that for? Are you sure? Are you sure you wanna do that to your hair? Your hair's so pretty. I see you. Look at those tears. Wow. Hidden behind a big smile now. We are in the world of tantrums right now, so it's like, obviously what you're trying to communicate to me about locks is that you don't understand it, you don't know what it is, you have a lot of negative connotations about it, and you know, you think it's like ugly or wrong or bad. And that was the same sentiment that I felt from the commentary that I got when I big chopped my hair. So the through line, the connection, it's black hair being black hair and people having a problem with black hair being black hair, whether it's a fro, you know, or it's locks. Like, it's fear of difference and fear of black culture and fear of the confidence and beauty and effortlessness that comes with a black person expressing their blackness freely and beautifully. There's so much that comes with that, and I feel like we've been taught to fear it, all of us, including black people. Even we fear it, and this is what it means to be you, like to wear your hair naturally. That's what it means to be you. And I've had people try to confront me. Look, it rolls right off my back. Like, I don't let people's opinions bother me anymore, but it is worth noting, especially for people who are still struggling with others in their life unloading their opinions onto them when it comes to their hair, their expression, who they are. It can bog you down. But the similarity that I noticed from 6 years ago to now is that people said the same thing about big chops in the past. And now people love curly hair. People love natural hair. People support it. And it's like, okay, well, you need to get on the bandwagon and you need to catch on. But in the meantime, you're going to make me feel terrible or try to like put me down for expressing myself? just interesting, like when you see the community. And I'm curious to see how other people were treated when they said they were gonna pick chop or when they locked their hair, because I'm just like noticing more and more now, like how just generally people will fear blackness, black culture. And I was like, look, y'all, if anyone wants to not hire me based on my locks, I don't want your job anyway if you're not going to give it to me based on my hair. For the most part, I just have people being like, sure, I don't know, because this looks just like a style I normally do. And then most people have been like really supportive too, like, hey girl, that's great. But it's still, you know, those comments that make me think about why people think the way they do, why they express the way they do. It's really, really deep, like deep rooted hatred and fear of black culture. With everything going on this year in the world of being a black person, everything going on this year, it just speaks volumes. So I kind of want to know what you guys' experiences are, like how you've felt with going natural or getting your hair locked, and what that may have stirred up in your community, if anything at all, and how you feel about this like fear and hatred of blackness, this like disconnect from between us just being who we are, like naturally, like I'm not doing anything to my hair, you know what I mean? Like I'm not even, just naturally being ourselves. What do you think about that? See you guys around.